Algebra 1, Day 82. Today we're going to be re-reviewing how to write linear functions, meaning how do I get their equation. The equations for lines can come in many different forms. Standard form, slope-intercept form, point form, lots of different ways. However, we want to make sure that we're very adept at switching in between them, as well as finding our equations so that we can graph them. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. For the purposes of today, we are not going to be filling in these blanks because I think that there are easier steps to do than those. Okay? So, let's first go ahead and take a look at this problem. Here they gave me a slope and a point. Now, for the purposes of today, I will be using point slope form. Noticing that the only things that should be filled in are going to be my slope and a point, just like the name. So I'm going to copy over the stuff that is not going to change. Notice that I'm already including my negatives, just in case. So I'll go ahead and put in my slope of 6, my y value of 37, and my x value of 5. Now I can go ahead and start simplifying. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and distribute, get rid of that. Okay. So at this point, I can break this off into standard or I can break it off into slope intercept. Okay. So first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and gather up all of my numbers on this side because in both of those equations, the constant is on the right. So I'm going to move my 37 over. And I end up with y equals mx plus b. Slope intercept form. If I wanted standard form, all I have to do is move that 6x over. And because it's negative, multiply everybody by -1. Now it's in standard form. So pretty simple. Now, of course, you can still plug these in y equals mx plus b, but doing it this way is usually a little bit easier and it automatically gets you to the equation. So let's go ahead and take a look at example number 2. I'm going to go ahead and first start by writing out my equation, including my minus signs. I'm going to go ahead and plug in that slope of 4 over 5, my -7 for y, my -5 for x. Now, I see a couple of different double negatives. I'm going to change them to positives. Now, if we were going to straight slope intercept form, of course, we could go ahead and just multiply this in and continue with that. I don't want to deal with all those fractions right now, so I'm just going to get rid of that 5. The way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to multiply every single thing I see by 5. And I end up with all whole numbers. Now I can go ahead and distribute. And I have here an equation. I can move this to standard form. I can move it to slope intercept. So let's head over to slope intercept first, okay? So I'm going to say, let's move that 35, move my 35 because I want to get y by itself. And then, of course, I divide by 5. There I am in slope intercept form. Now, what if I wanted this in standard form? Okay, similar process. I would still go ahead and move my 35 over to the other side, and I would end up here. Now I'm going to move that 4x over. And because it's negative, I'm going to multiply every single thing by -1. I could also divide by -1 just for space. And everything changes sign. And I am now at standard form. Pretty simple, straightforward. Okay? So don't let yourself get confused on that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next part. So whenever we're writing equations in the form of y equals mx plus b, we always think about those keywords. And so for slope, my keywords are going to be things like each, per, and every. On the other hand, the words for my y-intercept are going to be starting, initial, there we go, initial, etc., etc. So, how do I go about doing this? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this first example here. Jenny baked cupcakes and spent $10 on supplies. She sells them at a rate of $2 each. Write an equation to represent the profit she has after selling them. So first of all, we're already starting by spending $10. We're down $10, -10. And we're selling them for $2 each. Therefore, my equation is the amount of money I make will be equal to $2 multiplied times every cupcake minus the $10 it costed me in order to get all of my supplies. So my y-intercept is -10. For 10, it'd be $10 of profit. For 15, it'd be $20 of profit. And for 20 cupcakes that I would sell, it would be $30 in profit. Pretty simple. But let's go ahead and graph that as well. So first thing I want to do is I want to look for my x-axis and my y-axis. I'll go ahead and highlight them. Oh, wrong place. There we go. Here's my x-axis as well as my y-axis. Let's go ahead and put a couple of points down. So I'm at 0, -10, 10, 10, 15, 20, 20, 30. And there is my line. Pretty simple. Alrighty, so that is everything that I have for you today. I want you guys to go ahead and get started on your example question, and I will see you next time.